Yeah, as we were discussing about things, uh, about pain, sickness that may come, you know, these things, they come and go, you know, they come and go like clouds passing in the blue sky. Some dark clouds may pass, some yellow, some white, thunderstorm, tornado. Mm. So I would say that the blue sky is like like a stage where everybody's allowed to perform. Thunderstorms, tornadoes, clouds, airplanes, birds. They all come and go. But that space is just there. It remains as it is. It doesn't move, doesn't mind, doesn't go anywhere. And everything seems to be appearing from that space and disappearing from it into it. So really, what seems to be happening is not happening to somebody. It's just happening because there is really nobody here. The sensations that are felt, they are not an evidence that there's somebody there. They are just sensations. They're just sensations combined with an imagination that uh, seems to happen as a result of the knowledge in the memory. That I was born one day. I grew up in a certain location. I'm a man. I'm a human being. Since I was born, I will die one day. That's just an information. So when that information is combined with those sensations in the body, then it may seem as if there is somebody there. But there's nobody there. It's just the sensations and the memory and the knowledge in the memory, or I should say the information, bundle of information. That's an information that says, oh, I'm here. Now I'm here in the Zoom meeting. I'm as Charles. That's an information. There's nobody there. And there's just, they may seem to be those sensations that are felt, you know. Then there's something says, oh, this is my body. No, there's no body here. There's just sensations that are felt. And then the knowledge. So there's just emptiness appearing as that. It's already,
Like a play. It's like a play.
yes, yes.
It's over, we'll all forget. Till the next play.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's nothing. Because really, when there's looking, the one who seems to be talking can never be found. That one can only be an imagination appearing in this. Usually, the looking may seem to happen from behind those eyes. But it's not local because it can also be seen that there's a local. There's something that seems to be a local seeing. So if it's seen, that means it's not local, it's vast. It must be vast, everywhere present. What seems to be local, it can also be just an imagination appearing in that which is everywhere present.
Have you ever heard of something called remote viewing?
Yeah, I think I've heard. Is it the same as astral projection?
No, no, it's well, maybe. It's it's something that was developed by the American military. And it's a psychic activity where you concentrate on something and then you try to answer it by tapping into the cosmic sight, you know. So I mean, it's something that they did a lot of in the 70s, and then they let the program go, and then some of the people that were involved with the program started to do it in the 80s and teach new age people how to do it. And I don't know if the government's still doing it or not, but like, you know, there's stories about them figuring out exactly what's going on with certain Russian missile programs, or like people who are kidnapped. I think there's like some people that are kidnapped in North Africa or something, some diplomats or something, and they were able to find them by just asking these guys in the room to basically draw pictures of what they think that the compound might look like, and then finding it on aerial photographs. Or but the idea is that you just this localized viewing, but you actually have access to all of the viewing. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. And there was a process. I remember there's a process to test it. I remember I did it with like the kids and Melissa once, like, you know, sort of like, okay, there's a shape under this card, draw the shape. And, you know, they look and then try to draw the shape. And it's usually somewhat consistent with the shape, you know, or there's some sort of similarity.
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that can be also possible when there are some practices being done there. Some of the things, such things as those things, you just do some practices and make them perfect, you know, and you're able to do it. Like as you say, remote viewing, astral projection,
Yeah.
you know.
People are using it for the dumbest things, though. War. Try to predict the stock market. Yeah. But it doesn't seem dissimilar in a way to prayer, I guess, or people trying to manifest things in their lives by imagining it and thinking about things so that those things come into their lives. It's just whether you're looking forward in time or, across one dimension at time, you know.
Yeah, anything is possible. Anything can happen here. You know, there are no limitations. There are no limitations at all. There's so much to, of course, in the story. There's so much to explore, go to live, to um, to do. You can even go back to where they were building pyramids and see them, or astral projects there, or remote view, as you were mentioning, see them building pyramids and see where all began. There's so many things that can be done, you know. There are no limitations. But when there's that belief that I'm this body, they may seem to be just this life,
Yeah.
that's it. But when it is seen that there's just everything, the body is not a limitation. You can move everywhere you want to go. You can do anything. And
This morning when I was meditating, I was there's a lot of squirrels out there and they get very territorial. They don't really like me much. So sometimes they chitter or chatter at me. And there was one off in the distance that was, and I thought, for some reason, I just had this thought. I was thinking about hypnosis and the idea of people being able to turn a rope into a snake. I thought, well, if the power of hypnosis exists in the universe, I wonder if animals could have the power of hypnosis. And just then, the squirrel charged my chair and ran underneath my chair. And I jumped up and I screamed. I was like, "Wah!" I got up and then I couldn't find the squirrel. It's like the squirrel is willing me out of the forest by pretending, sending imaginary squirrels at me. No, I know the squirrel went under me.
yeah, I think you were hypnotized.
Maybe I was hypnotized.
And I think that was the proof that they can do it. Mm. Yeah, when you are astral projected, you're not in this body. Of course, you are usually not in this body. You are everywhere present, but in the story, when there's an astral projection that may seem to be happening, um, there's so much power there. You're able to move things, without even touching them because, everything is energy. You just move things, you can heal, people, fly, save people who are about to drown. You can do, you're more like Superman. Because there are a lot of things that may seem to be going on there, depending on where you are. If you are in a dense but very light but dense dimension where there are people walking around, cars moving, we may seem to be there helping people, in some way. Those who are getting attacked, getting robbed, may help them there. Yeah, that's used to happen here as well when the way those are an intense meditation that was going on. Such things used to happen. Find myself in a location where help is needed. I would help there, fix things, help people cross the bridge that has been broken down. Yeah, so there are no limitations. There are no limitations. Totality is able to dream itself or to imagine itself as a uh, separate person. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. But what seems to be an imagination, it may be used a lot. It's used. So I think that's the power that may seem to be used, the power of imagination, because everything is imagined. Because even this talking happening right now, it can be imagined that I'm talking to you. Mike Charles is talking to Ngosi, but that's just an imagination. That's just a story. There's nobody who's talking to anybody here already. There's nothing here. There's just emptiness. So there may be thoughts that may seem to appear in this and say, oh, something is happening. There's a meeting going on here, and we are sitting on the chair. We're talking to Gosi. Those are just thoughts. But without thoughts, nothing ever happens. You know, there's nothing happening. When you're walking on the street and somebody is getting robbed there may be a thought that, oh, they're robbing him. He's getting robbed. But those are just thoughts. But without that thought, it will seem as if nothing is happening. People will say, oh, he's getting robbed, he's getting robbed. But action as well may seem to happen, even without thoughts that say, oh, he's getting robbed. There may seem to be a movement happening, help, you know. So thoughts don't make things happen. Things are just happening the way they are. And thoughts seems to come after and say, oh, I did that, I did this. I'm the one who's doing it. No, there's no doer there. It's just what happens. It's not personal.
It always feels to me that at some level there's a a tension between doing and not doing, between completely giving yourself over to what happens and being an actor in this illusory body to make money and help my family and do the dishes and take the garbage out or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just find yourself doing, right? And then it's easy. That seems right. But then sometimes there's confusion, you know. It seems like there's problems that need to be solved, you know, energy, things that need to be imagined, things that need to be, people that need to be helped, you know,
Yeah.
where it feels like it needs to be more deliberate, you know. But how can you be deliberate if there's no separation? It's it's a tension there for me. Praying, right? And I think that, you know, you said to me once, oh yeah, absolutely pray. If that's what you find yourself needing to do, you know,
Yeah.
that's part of it. Some level I feel like it, to be pure, um oneness, there needs to be a complete dissolution of desire and fear, you know, to be truly one. I need to let go of personality that's based on pushing away or pulling towards. But then sometimes it seems like that's what's called for, you know.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. When there's an identification with the body, or there's a thought that says I'm this body, then things may seem to be very tense. You know, it may seem to be everything may seem to be taken seriously. It may seem as if there's a you know, who's living life. We have to be careful what you do, what you say, you know, everything is taken seriously. So somehow it may never be enjoyed. This life may never be enjoyed in that way. But when there is no identification with the body, when everything is seen as just the way it is, or when there's noticing that there's just the body and there's nobody there, everything feels light. You know, even when you have to do some small things like um, sweeping the floor, it is enjoyed. Sweeping the floor, washing dishes, you know, everything is enjoyed. It's just beautiful. It's okay because there's
Right.
no uh yeah, there's no identification with the body. Just there's more space, you know, there's more space. Even when there's walking, there's so much space there that everything may happen, but this doesn't mind.
You
The
know,
one who says, I am Charles, um, I'm just living life. That's just an information. That's just a bundle of thoughts or bundle of information. There's really absolutely nobody there.
sometimes I go to work, you know, and and I don't think about work till I get there. And then I go, well, what am I going to do all day? Every day I've got more to do than I can do. Right. There's always a backlog of things to be done. But then the day unwinds where I automatically think about things that seem to be the best thing to do. Or the day will get taken over by phone calls or Zoom meetings, and that will have, value too. So that it doesn't even, so that there's no doer, right? There's no decisions to be made. It all unravels in the zone, right? It all has its own, and this is the space for that, But other times, and in those conditions, Charles is not taken seriously. The entity of Charles is not taken seriously. It's enjoyed. As you say, there's a lightness to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a big problem. Somebody's not paying you and you're not going to be able to pay your employees, or whatever, a big problem where there's got to be a decision as to how to handle these, like the bad weather you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And you got to decide it feels like you got to decide how to deal with the bad weather. But maybe the bad weather just passes.
Yeah.
Maybe the bad weather
It
just
comes and
passes.
goes.
Part of the
Yeah.
bad weather seems to be, praying for rain or whatever, a
Yeah.
shelter or whatever, fretting a decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you can, in that moment or when that had seems to happen, you may rest in that space as that space and allow things to be as they are. Allow things to come up. If there's don't have to like try to think or allow the thinking, allow the solution to come up just by relaxing, resting in that space, then solutions will seem to flow. Everything will seem to flow freely from that space. But when there's a conjunction or some confusion, some stress, then everything may seem to be tensed. But when you allow just relax in that space, as that space, watch what happens, then it will be seen that there's no one else doing anything. There's just everything doing everything. And things will seem to fall into place. There'll be that synchronicity happening. Some they call it let go, but really there's nobody to let go of any.
Yeah.
Yeah, just surrendering to what is, what seems to be happening. Will be surprised that oh, to seem like America, like magic.
Seems like, what did you say? It would seem like America?
Seem like America? No, America.
America. I was like, I don't think America's that good, man. It is pretty nice though. You should come visit. It'd be really nice to get you over here for a nice long visit.
Yeah,
We
would
should,
love to.
yeah, we should do a Zoom charity thing or something. I don't know. I'll bring in Kosi to America Drive.
Yeah.
You can do it. Get a passport. It's not hard. You just jump on an airplane.
Yeah, it's a bit beautiful.
It's not a miracle though.
Yeah, it will be as well very exciting to see everybody's height.
I gotta say, your skin is a lot prettier in the sunlight than it is under these lights. These lights, sometimes these fluorescent lights, you look a little greenish or, but when Charlie showed me the pictures of you and him and Martha in the sunlight, I was like, wow, what a beautiful bronze and Kosi is.
Yeah, I think the computer that I'm using and the lights here is, yeah, they make it's not a good picture quality.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of us look our best on Zoom, but
But are you of the same height as Charlie?
I might be just a smidge taller. I don't know. Maybe an inch taller than Charlie Criminatin. Yeah.
You must be very tall there. I thought maybe you're a little shorter.
I'm
Because
also really
I'm a little
fat.
bit
I got
taller
this
than
huge belly. You can't see it, but I got this huge belly right here.
huge belly. Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm a little bit taller than I think Martha. Yeah, just a little bit taller.
Oh, I need to call Martha and see how she's doing. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Is she okay?
I mean, she's in Iowa. How bad could it be? It's like it's pretty boring out there. Biggest problem in Iowa is it's so boring everybody develops a drinking problem. Not everybody, but it's pretty common. It's like just nothing but corn.
Yeah. Wow.
No. I'm sure she's spending a lot of time taking care of Nellie. So her mom.
Mhm. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, there is always uh, silence everywhere. There is always that silence. And that silence is louder than any noise. And that silence is always undisturbed. And that silence is what you are. Even in the midst of talking, it's always there. Even in the midst of a huge noise, it's always there. It doesn't need anything to stop. It doesn't need any sound or any noise to stop for it to be what it is. It's always there. There's silence in talking, in huge noise going on, in a very busy streets. There's silence. It's always there. At times, it may never notice, it may not notice itself, but it may, the attention may be like focused on the noise, the busy, the talking, then that may seem to be very not good at all. But when that silence is noticed, that it is everywhere, then even when there is talking happening, it will feel lighter, very light, you know. Even when there is a movement, a truck hooting, it will seem very light, you know. So it seems as if it's not even happening. There's nothing happening. So that silence is always with you as yourself, and it has no location. Even when you look at the certain objects, behind that object, there's silence, and there's so much beauty because of that silence. So I would say silence is an energy. How can I put it? Energetic language. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
So it's like when you look at a tree, you can feel that silence even within, just by looking at a tree, removing that it's a tree, the label, just looking at it, looking at it as it is. There may be it's you may feel lighter, at peace. So everything is like that. Every appearance, the thing that appears in that space, there's so much silence behind it because everything is energy. Everything is not as it seems to be. It's all energy everywhere.
I've been thinking about that lately.
Your language.
I think I told you, that there's this thing called quantum computing. Have I told you about quantum computing?
Yeah, I think you told me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this computing. It's done at sort of the microscopic level with energy fields, probability fields in a way that they don't really understand how it works. But once they tap into it, the optimal solution for computing just seems to like appear out of nowhere, as if it was computed backwards from the solution. You know, um, silence seems like a portal to the optimal solution. you know, like the wordless silence from meditation, and tapping into whatever it is that's beyond matter.
Yeah.
It's magic. And it's wordless magic. It's objectless magic. But it's a magic that still has the power to transform. in a way that
Yes.
optimal solutions just arise from it, you know. That's what I'm thinking about.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Silence will never leave. Will never leave you. Because you are silence. You are it
Yeah.
already. It's undisturbed. It's undisturbed. It doesn't depend on the noise being there for it to be what it is. It's always there. It's just a matter of focusing your attention on it. Then everything that may seem to appear as noise, as movement, as objects may seem not very so much important, you know, may seem as just things. Just don't mind. So it's already here. It doesn't require anybody to sit in meditation for it to be there. It's already here in a busy street, in a busy area, in the midst of argument, in the midst of confusion. There's silence.
It helps to notice it. It helps to notice the silence. Might always be there, but it helps to notice it.
Yeah, noticing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the noticing as well. It's not being done by somebody. It's just
Yeah. Silence reflecting on silence. Okay, Nkosi. I think you need to take your auntie to the bus stop.
yeah. She's getting ready. She's getting ready. Getting older as well.
You're not supposed to tell her that.
Mm.
Any assignments?
Sorry,
Do you have any assignments?
assignments.
Assignments.
No.
Sometimes you have assignments. I like assignments.
Oh yeah. Okay. I would say whatever happens, just uh, be with silence and view things from that silence. Then, yeah, that's what's coming up.
It's good.
Whatever happens, whether there's a meeting in the boardroom, just view everything from silence. View even the mind, the thinking from silence. Be the
Take it.
watching, seeing. Yeah.
Yeah, I will do it. Okay. Thank you, Nkosi. I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Okay. Bye.